If you spend any time watching the news lately, you'll see that there's a rumor spreading of a new pandemic.
When the next pandemic comes knocking, and it will.
Yes, I'm talking about the mysterious pneumonia. The last couple months in China, children's hospitals in Beijing, Liaoning, and other places have been overwhelmed with sick children, and schools and classes were on the verge of suspension. Some school classes have even been canceled completely. Not only are all students sick, but teachers are also infected with pneumonia. People all over the world started getting panicked whether the Chinese authorities are covering up an epidemic the way they did with COVID-19. The scary thing is, Beijing and Liaoning, where most cases have been seen, are almost 800 kilometers apart. Now children have begun falling sick in the US and the Netherlands, among other countries. In Denmark, for example, the number of pediatric pneumonia has crossed the epidemic mark. It's also spurred several other countries to take action, like Singapore, Taiwan, India, Nepal, Vietnam, and Indonesia. The question is it the next COVID-19? And is this the beginning of a new pandemic? To answer this question, we need to compare the mysterious pneumonia with COVID-19. Firstly, COVID-19 is caused by a viral infection called SARS-CoV-2, which belongs to the same family of coronaviruses, SARS and MERS-2. On the other hand, the mysterious pneumonia is caused by a bacterial infection called Mycoplasma pneumonia, which is also known as walking pneumonia, a milder form of pneumonia. Unlike severe pneumonia, walking pneumonia is less intense, but children and the elderly and those with weakened lungs are more vulnerable to Mycoplasma pneumonia. Common symptoms include sneezing, stuffy or runny noses, sore throats, watery eyes, wheezing, vomiting, diarrhea, and much more. Both have some similarities in symptoms because they are respiratory diseases, and both can be transmitted through respiratory droplets or close contact with infected people. In fact, the mysterious pneumonia is titled an undiagnosed disease, which is a rare disease that affects a small percentage of the population and can be treated with antibiotics, which can kill the bacteria and reduce symptoms. Secondly, it may sound like a conspiracy, but the COVID-19 outbreak timeline and the pneumonia outbreak have a scarily similar timeline. COVID-19 was detected in December 2019 in Wuhan, China, and it has even been reported that COVID-19 already started to spread in many countries a few months before even that, and it quickly spread to other countries and regions, reaching pandemic status by March 2020. Similarly, the mysterious pneumonia outbreak seems to have started around mid-October to November, and it's rapidly spreading from the Chinese provinces Jiangsu and Zhejiang to all over the world. But there may be an explanation for this that I think makes a lot of sense. You see, China is actually a country which gets many flu diseases like influenza, influenza-like illnesses, RSV, SARS-CoV-2, and many others. And the Chinese population, like all others, are more vulnerable to these mostly respiratory diseases during the winter, which historically has been the case in the past. After the COVID-19 strict lockdown, this is the first winter happening in China without any restrictions. So many experts and officials are saying that this is just another regular winter where the surge might be indicative of a rise in common respiratory infections like the flu, and not as much threatening to become a total global pandemic. So the bottom line is, we've got two kind of opinions on this. Based on the similarities in timeline, the majority of people are predicting that the mysterious pneumonia has the potential to become a pandemic, especially as it affects children and young adults who are more likely to spread the infection to others. On the contrary, some people may argue that the mysterious pneumonia is not as serious as COVID-19, and that the media is exaggerating the risk and creating unnecessary panic. They may also claim that the mysterious pneumonia is not a new disease, but a common one that has been around for decades, and that it only affects a small portion of the population. In my opinion, we should not overlook the fact that the mysterious pneumonia is spreading rapidly and unpredictably, and that it may mutate into a more virulent or resistant strain. Therefore, we should not be complacent or cynical about the mysterious pneumonia, especially when there are reports of deaths which go all the way back to September. Remember when people were getting sick and dying by COVID-19 all over the world when it was not yet even detected until December in Wuhan? That's why we should remember the lessons and the losses from COVID-19 and not repeat the same mistakes. If the world gets hit by back-to-back pandemics in this short amount of time, there will be consequences we can't even imagine right now. If you guys want to see a video of what the impact a second pandemic would be on the global economy, let me know in the comments. And remember, if you've enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe for more informational topic videos.